Like if I was held at gunpoint, I could knit something. Yeah, definitely. Would it be sick?
You wouldn't be able to hold it.
I could do a scarf. Easy. Look, show my knitting.
See? You even have it on deck.
That is my...
Okay.
It's a book. It's a bookmark.
Yep.
Scarf.
Yeah.
Slash... the way you're holding it, it shows and it depicts life. It's more abstract.
I get that.
It's art, actually.
I see that.
Thank you so much, Lids, for displaying that so well.
The fact that you even just had that on deck is making me scream inside.
Welcome to Out of Office with Kim. I'm your host, Kim, all the way from sunny South East London. As you can hear, my voice is a bit raspy, yeah? I've had a bit of a wild weekend this weekend. It's been bank holiday, Bobs, you know what I mean? So we're keeping it on a low vibe today. We are, someone we've got today is a very special, famous person, yeah? We've got an award-winning presenter, okay? Music supervisor, yeah? Producer. Yeah, okay. Some would say an all-around star. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. My name is Kiki, and I wouldn't call myself a star, but I do those things.
But your Instagram bio says you're a star.
The Instagram bio says, certain facets of myself that I like to present, but star is not on there.
Okay, today we're going to really bring that stardom out. So I like to start my show by talking about how I know the guests. Some people I don't really know that well, but me and Keats go way back.
We actually do.
I don't actually think it's way.
No,
I think it's back.
No, we can say. I think we can say way now.
Way back.
I think we say way now.
I think it's just back.
Okay,
because it's like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. Was it 5? Well,
it could
even.
No, it's 6, Kimberly.
Well, anyways.
Okay.
We're great pals, you know what I mean? So I'm really excited for this episode because basically this show is about talking about people who inspire me. And I think when people talk about their passions, calm down. People talk about their passions, they're really, it just gives me a little something. And, I don't say it that often, but you're cool, okay?
Oh.
The work that you do is sick, right?
Thank you.
We're going to talk about all the different things that you be doing. But as we're out of office,
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we got to start with an interview question.
Oh, gosh.
To break the ice.
All right.
This one's all right. I've handcraft chosen this one for you.
No, because you know things, so I'm a bit...
No, it's fine.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Right, if you could join any music group, who would it be and why?
B2K.
Oh, wow. Oh, you had that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought about this before.
Okay. Okay, why B2K, can I ask?
Because they're like my favourite boy band of all time. And I feel like if I was like the lady of B2K, do you know what I mean? It would have been like, oh, she's the first lady of like...
B2K? Who is your favourite B2K member? Okay. Wow, you really...
I know these...
That was like, the whole time?
Keep them... What other answer was I supposed to give?
Lil Fizz.
Okay.
I was a Lil Fizz kind of girl.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all.
I just thought he had a bad boy aura.
I get that.
Because he was really rapping. The other ones were actually truly singing.
I get that, but...
Omarion was the main one and the other ones were doing backup vocals.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So Omarion was like the main one.
Yeah.
And then second in command.
Of course. I mean,
Fizz.
if there was ever a second in command, it would have been Little Fizz. But Omarion was just, he just had star quality.
Yeah, just like you. Anyway, so let's get into it.
All right.
So, let's just start with the very beginning.
Okay.
What do you do? In your words, not mine.
Okay, so the music supervisor role that I do, I basically get to select music in film, TV and advertising.
Wow.
Yeah.
And also, what do you do?
And I'm also a presenter. And I'm also a producer.
Speaking of your presenting, I've not given you your flowers.
Oh.
What did you do this weekend?
Oh.
What did you do this weekend?
You know what, Kim? I had an out-of-body experience this week. No, because you know me. And I really I struggle with the whole in front of the camera thing. I know it might not seem like it, but I really do. They said to me, hey, why don't you go to Radio 1's Big Weekend and host the main stage?
Yeah.
And I said, sure.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say no.
Obviously, of course not.
But also in my head, I was like, why did I say yeah? And then I got there in front of
Yeah, how big was the crowd, did you say?
I don't know. It could have been 30,000 people.
It's a little bit louder on the mic.
30,000.
Thank you. That was quite quiet, but
ish. Yeah. people. And I hosted the main stage for like too long.
30,000 people.
It was insane.
What was the energy like? How did you feel?
I felt like, I don't know, I was terrified before I went on. Like, you know when you can't eat, like terrified.
I was going to say, you must have been quite nervous.
I ate nothing.
Oh.
I said nothing.
Okay.
Until the moment that they gave me the mic and said, "You're on." I said nothing. And then you got there. As soon as I got on stage, like, all of that kind of went away.
So, like, instantly?
Yeah, kind of, because it was like, what else can I do now?
Yeah, no,
like, I'm here now. If I just stand on stage like this, it's going to be even worse. So I might as well just look at people in the crowd and just imagine they're me and what would I want to see. And I would just want to have a good time and just age.
100.
Do you know what I mean? So,
how long was you on the stage for?
about an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just holding it down.
Yep.
I saw the videos, big crowds you had that.
Yeah, it was, just a small little thing.
So the nerves, like, you got on the stage, nerves just went.
Yeah.
Did you ever envision this for when you was a baby girl?
Oh my God.
This is like, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm acting calm because, you know, I can't shout.
Yeah,
with my
I know.
condition. With my condition, I can't get high.
I know.
But this is a massive thing that you've done. Like, wow. I'm really proud of you.
Oh, baby girl.
But anyways, back to the seriousness of it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel now? How did you feel when you got off stage?
I felt like, I don't think I can actually describe that feeling because it was such a like feeling of just absolute. I was elated. Like, I was like, oh my God. And I was more so like that because I'd accomplished a huge fear of mine.
Which is?
Just being in front of a crowd of people, like speaking in front of people. Like, B2K's couldn't even imagine that.
Really? It's funny because you don't come across that way at all. You don't give like shy, nerve, but I suppose some people don't and all that kind of thing. You don't give that vibe. And also what you do.
I know.
For a living.
I know. But this
doesn't correlate. Yeah.
I know. It's actually insane. It's really mad. I don't know. I think I've just come a really long way. I really have. Like, I used to be really like, I don't know if people would say that I'm shy, but I've always felt shy.
Really?
I've always felt like, oh gosh, like, I don't want to say too much because people might think, oh, she's doing too much and rare. So like, I've always been a little bit with like in myself, a little bit of an introvert, I guess, at times. At times.
Yeah, but you know, you can dip in between
in and out.
In introvert, extrovert, ambivert, depending on the situation as well. So I think it's awesome that you can recognize that you might have been introverted, but then when you're on the stage, it was like, So tell me how you actually got, because obviously you didn't just drop onto the big stage.
No.
What has been your presenting journey? Because did you start on Rinse? As in, like, you was working on Rinse with Robin. That's how I know you. Shout out Robin every time.
Shout out Robin every single time.
You was part of the Rinse crew.
So I started at Rinse, but I started as a producer. So my background has always been radio production. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in the background, behind the scenes.
But before you even got into that behind the scenes bit, did you ever think I would like to be?
Nah,
like, no, not at all.
Never wanted to be a presenter. Like, never categorically ever said I want to be a presenter. That was not me. I didn't like being in front of people. So I would never have said, oh, I want to do a career where I have to be in front of people 24/7 at all. So I got into radio production and I was at Rinse for a couple years, and then I started at BBC and was still like as an assistant producer and did that. So the first time I actually presented was actually for No Signal. During lockdown, me and my friend Jess, we had a show called Chocolate Darling. Shout out Jess as well.
Shout out Jess. Shout out Jess every time.
Because she's killing it.
She's killing it.
In it.
I'm going to have her on season 2. Remember I said that? Season 2. Jess, I'm coming for you.
So we did a show, and that was like us DJing and like chatting a bit on the mic. And that was the first time that I did some proper like presenting stuff. And then I ended up doing a show called Tonight with Target, with DJ Target. Also shout out Target, because that's my dog.
Shout out.
And he basically brought me on to do like the cypher segment of his show that went out on BBC Three. And that was the first time I ever did anything like to camera. But that was like when was that? 2020?
So a while ago.
Yeah.
Like lockdown times.
Yeah, lockdown times. 2020, 2021. So it hasn't actually been a long time of me being in front. I feel like I've been behind the camera, behind the mic a lot more than I have.
4 years is a long time, though.
Yeah, I guess.
I think you're not deep. Like 4 years is a long time.
I guess.
I think COVID has warped our perception of time, and like but 4 years ago was a long time ago.
Yeah,
So you've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, I guess.
And you touched on DJing, so yeah, let's talk about that as well. 'Cause you've tried to take that off your list of achievements. You're a DJ.
I've taken that out of my bio. In fact, yes, I do.
You should go your bio.
Yeah.
You're a DJ.
I do DJ.
So let's talk about you being a little cheeky DJ.
Okay, so...
When did that start? Why did you do it?
When did I start DJing? I really actually started to practice DJing in 2019, like end of 2018, 2019. I've just always been a big music gal. Like growing up, that was just it. Like music was always playing in the house. Dad has an unbelievable amount of records that I still haven't even got through to like this day. Like that's kind of my background. So being a DJ was just something that I just thought, yeah, cool, naturally. Like obviously I love music, so let me try and blend them together. And yeah, that's really how it started. And then I started to practice DJing in like 2019, but I was always so shook because I worked in radio and I worked with all these super like big DJs that just are so sick to me, like proper icon level. And then for me, I always felt a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, how am I going to step into this space now and DJ with my little self and my little like, do you know what I mean? My little records. Like, what do you know about music? Like, how
did you overcome that? Did you just do it?
It's still a work in progress. That imposter syndrome is still a work in progress. She's still very much present, and I just have to tell her to quiet down sometimes. You know, like you're not invited everywhere.
Not to every party.
Not to every party.
But I've been seeing you be DJing. You've been DJing, so don't pretend.
I mean, I do a little something. But it was really when I got the show on No Signal with Jess. I think that was when it really flourished because we were mixing the show all the time. Like we were doing mixing track lists. She would do a mix for 20 minutes. I would do a mix for 20 minutes. So that was where I I think grew confidence in DJing. But again, the imposter syndrome thing is still a battle. So I don't really do it as much. And because it's a craft that I take very seriously, like I really respect a good DJ, someone who can mix well, blends well, music knowledge, crowd control. Like I really respect the craft and I want to do it well. So I'm really like self-critical about it, like, oh, like if I clang this or I don't have the right track, or this track would have been good but I don't have it on my USB. I get really in my head about it, and it's not always the greatest experience afterwards. Like you end up feeling because I end up feeling really like self-critical, and I was like, you know what, until I can do this like with just positivity and just do it where I enjoy it, let me just put it on hold for now and focus on the other stuff. And like it would just
do you think that it's like imperative that you have to be a DJ to be a presenter? Because I feel like a lot of people, when I first wanted to get into presenting, people kept telling me you need to learn to DJ, but I just didn't want to be a DJ. I love DJs, but I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to focus on me as a personality as opposed to, but I get the pipeline of you're a DJ, you then get a show, So what do you think of the importance of it?
I think it depends which route you're trying to go down, because I don't think you need to be a DJ in order to be a presenter if the thing that you're presenting, like your strength is your personality. So I wouldn't suggest you need to know.
About me?
Yeah, you not everyone. Not everyone's strength is their personality. But
thank you.
Your strength is your strength is your personality. So I don't feel like it's like necessary to know how to DJ unless what you want to present is music based stuff. Yeah,
which I don't feel like, but also I just don't know. But I just knew that I didn't want. I had a little time where I dabbled in that lockdown where, because obviously I was living with Amber and Tash, they're DJs. Yeah, of course. And Paris would be there, who's also a DJ. So I thought,
shout all of them.
Yeah, shout out the whole crew there. So I thought maybe it's my time to learn to DJ, but I just that's just not what I wanted to do. Yeah. So I thought I'm not going to do that, and I think it's important to let people know that you don't have to. Definitely. But I do think it might make it a little bit easier, maybe.
I don't know. I think if you want to get onto radio, then I would would say, sure, like maybe knowing how to DJ would be great. But I feel like it's mainly just having a passion for music.
Yes.
If you want to get into radio because you're playing music. But if you want to get into, I don't know, if you might want to do a cooking show, then you being a DJ,
it's relevant.
It's really, it's not useful here.
It's irrelevant. But even so, when I did a show once on Rinse Up when I first started off. Jotty let me do a takeover, and when I got there, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna need to DJ, and they just had the little desk. I didn't need to just cue the song, press play. Just cue the song, press play. You don't need to be mixing.
You don't.
So I think there's a bit of a misconception there as well. But I think if you, as you said, if you want to go into radio but specifically music, then definitely learn it. But I don't think you have to. But I think when you look at some really big presenters, they start on radio. Yeah,
because radio is no joke. Like radio is the, like, it can be the trenches. It's like, it's really the training ground for you. Like if you can present on radio, I personally feel like you can present anywhere.
Do you think?
Because you're having to get a message across to someone who can only hear your voice. They can't see your mannerisms. Like a lot of communication is body language, isn't it?
True.
So to be able to actually like communicate to someone and make them feel something with just your voice is a real skill. So yeah, I
love radio. I'm not gonna sit here and
you do. I know we've always spoken about this as well.
And I want to come back to radio. I want you to. I have said that. I've said it a lot, but I just
what?
I don't know. I don't actually know what it is. I just don't know.
Are you scared? Don't be scared.
I think I am a little bit.
Don't be scared.
I do love it, and I love literally what you're saying. I like the reason why I first liked radio is because you don't have to be seen, and I love that. You're just behind it, just do your own thing, and I love that because, as you said, it takes a lot to be in front of a camera. Like I can do it 100%, but now it's cool. But at the beginning,
oh honey,
at the beginning it's like it might come naturally to some people, but it doesn't for everyone. It takes practice with a lot of things. But radio, I think, as you said, there's something beautiful about people can't see you, but they feel your vibe. So you're still at radio, you're at BBC at the minute.
I am, yeah.
How are you finding it?
I'm finding it good. I'm finding it like, again, like the imposter syndrome thing is, like, it was a lot, like when I first got the show, because I do a show called Throwback Party.
Can you talk about that?
Yes, I will. I do a show called the Throwback Party. It's me and my good friend Joella Noble, and we basically just chat about like old school music. It's all about like throwback hip hop, R&B.
What time is it on?
It changes time sometimes, but you can find it on BBC Sounds. It's at all times. You can listen to all the episodes. That's good, but it was very daunting at the beginning because again, like I'm used to being a producer, like kind of behind the scenes, and then when I got the call up from Jojo, it was like, okay, we're doing this, like come do this with me, like I want to do this. I was like, oh, I don't know, like I'm nervous, I don't know if I can do this. And then I think it's easier because I'm doing it with a good friend of mine. It's like, okay, cool, like we're just chatting, it takes the pressure off. But then you get opportunities like Big Weekend where you have to be in front of 30,000 people, and then you're like, oh. But it's good. I feel like it's really it's bringing me out of my comfort zone, bringing me out of my shell, and I love it. I do love it. Now I love it. Do you know what I mean? Now it's good. But before it was so like I was just nervous all the time.
But now
it's fine. And I would always like second guess things I'm saying as well. Like
really?
Yeah. Because I don't know, it's BBC in it. So you're like, oh, like can I say that? Or I can't swear. And trying to train myself to not swear with someone who I would usually say the maddest things to. Like
do you know what? It's actually hard to switch that.
Even now, I'm like trying to not say the maddest things. I'm so used to us just chatting madness.
This is an open forum, yeah? Do you know what I mean? If you said anything too crazy, just bleep it out.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But even like little stories that we tell, like we might be talking about like like an old school Black Eyed Peas song. It's like, where were you when you first heard this? And then you think about it and you're like, oh, like, I don't want to talk about this person actually.
Share that,
But now it's fine. Now it's like, it's just fun.
Did you go to uni?
I did go to uni.
What did you study?
I studied Spanish.
And I love this. Here's what I love to hear. I love when people tell me their degree and it's like, I did something completely
so different.
Wait, you can speak Espanol?
Un poquito sí, but I'm not going to do it on this podcast because I get nervous, I get shy.
Hola.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Espanol.
Yes.
What was that about?
I just really liked the language.
That is so cute.
I know. What a nuke.
So you just...
I started learning it in year 7 and did it for GCSE and then did it for A level, and I was like, well, I'm here now. I might as well.
What was the plan there?
So I did Spanish and film at uni.
Yeah, why didn't you say the second part?
I was getting to that, but then I got a bit shy at the Spanish bit, and then I.
Right, yeah.
And I don't really know what the plan was, to be honest. I didn't really have a plan. I just knew that I really liked Spanish, wanted to do something creative as well with it. And then when I started my degree, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do like subtitles for films.
Ooh.
Like maybe, you know, like maybe I'll do like the Spanish like into English subtitles or vice versa. And then I did a translation module in my last year and it nearly killed me. So I said, maybe that's not for me.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, let me go back to the music thing. Love that. So let's do that.
And
then went into like volunteering at local radio stations, and then that's how I got into radio and just kind of worked my way up.
So you did join with film as well, right? Which is just a perfect, gorgeous little segue, isn't it?
Well, would you look at that? It's almost like we planned it.
Yeah, it's almost like I wrote the questions. So,
oh God,
let's talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about music supervision. Firstly, to be fair, I think you should describe what it is, because I've always known what that job was. No clue what it was called.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a film. You're shooting the film, and when the film is shot and you're editing it and you need to insert music, that's where you'll hire someone like me who'll be like, hey, I think this song would sound great here. Let's put that here. And then you need someone to clear the licenses to use that song in that film.
So how did you get into this, number one? How did you know you wanted to do it?
Right. Well, taking it back to uni days.
Oh, let's go back.
Yeah, because everything is linked.
Interlinked.
Taking it back to uni days, obviously studied film, and through that just kind of started learning about the different roles in film, the different roles in production and yada yada, and came across this role about music and music supervision in film. I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would really love to do. And I remember there was a like a conference thing going on in Brighton. That's where I went to uni in Sussex, and it was all about like sound in film, and I went down to it thinking, oh, like there might be some fun people there, let me just go and see. And there was someone who was a music supervisor, and they did like an hour talk about it, and I was like, oh, like this is definitely what I want to do. But I kind of put it just like to the side that would be great, but no idea how to get into it. And so that's kind of how I knew what it was. And then during lockdown, I kind of had a thought about where my career was going, where I want it to go, and then I kind of went back into that vision board, which was just a notes on my phone. It wasn't an actual vision board.
No, my vision board is a tick list on my notes app.
Oh yeah,
so
okay.
Things I want to achieve, tick.
Yeah.
I'll be ticking some things off later.
Oh yeah, I see you. I see you've been ticking things off. So during lockdown, I just thought a lot about that and what I wanted to achieve, and I thought like, okay, this isn't something that's just gonna fall in my lap. I actually have to pursue it at some point. And then that's exactly what I did. I kind of just started to reach out to people who I kind of saw that were doing that role, doing similar things, or had companies that were doing music supervision in film.
And how was you reaching out to them?
Just emails, cold emails.
Which is hard for a lot of people, but one of the most important things I think when you're trying to pivot into somewhere is sliding into some DMs. Go on LinkedIn, go on
slide.
Even Instagram, like these days.
Anywhere.
Wherever you and I think it's difficult because sometimes you feel like a beg.
I'm the biggest beg.
You got to shake that off, right?
I'm the biggest beg that there is. Listen, when it comes to work, you can't be how you would be. You're not chatting to a guy. You're not trying to chirps. Like if you get aired, you just have to hold that. Like,
but at the end of the day, my mum always says, the worst thing in life someone could say to you, there are actually many other worse things, but anyways, Patty, the worst thing someone could say to you is no. Or in this case, airtime, which like, you haven't lost it, you don't lose anything basically by reaching out to people. So.
But it is really disheartening, and like even now, like with all the work that I do, and sometimes I still don't get responses from people, and it's still like, how much more do I have to do for you to, do you want my blood?
The knockbacks knockbacks can really
they can really knock you back,
but you do have to keep pushing at the end of the day. If you've got a dream, you've got a goal, like you kind of can't take your foot off the gas. You can take it off a little,
sometimes,
but not all the way off. Just lift the toe up.
Just change gears slightly. But it was hard though, so I basically just started reaching out to people like LinkedIn, emails, phones sometimes, and thankfully 1 out of 100 and however many I sent actually got back to me and was like, okay, cool, like sounds like you're doing cool things, like let's go for a coffee, let's chat. And I was like, cool, we did that, and then the rest is history, really. Like from there, like I had a good relationship with that person, and I ended up working on Top Boy through that connection.
Why are you talking about that so calmly?
Huh?
You said that very calmly.
Just this thing.
You worked on what show?
Top Boy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Carry on. Because my next question was, what have you worked on?
You're so irritating.
Top Boy. No, because you acting like that's calm.
I know.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Arguably, like Top Boy is one of the biggest shows in London. I don't know about the rest of the place, do you know what I mean?
Not the rest of
but
like, who cares about the rest of the UK?
Forget the rest of the UK. No offense.
No, joking.
But like for London, like Top Boy is huge, right? So can we talk about Top Boy? How did that happen?
Okay. So like I said, started like forming a working relationship with this lady called Abby Leland, who
shout out Abby,
who owns a company called Leland Music. And with Abby and with Netflix, they started a like internship scheme type thing, for people who wanted to get into music supervision. So I applied for that and thankfully got the role, and that's how I started working on it. So I started working on it as like part of a scheme with Netflix for season 4. Season 4, the series are weird because the first 2 series were with Channel 4 and then the last 3 were with Netflix. So it's basically season 2, but it's actually season 4. So that's literally how I started working on it. And so through that, worked on season 4/2. Through that scheme, got my first credit, which I was like, I actually cried. Like,
you should.
I could not believe it. My little name on this. Like, honestly, big. That feeling is unmatched. Like, really unmatched.
Oh, so happy for you.
And so that's how I started the work with them for that season. And then because I did a good job, they rehired me for the next season, and then I worked on that as well.
So let's actually break down what the role actually is. Like, what is the day in the life of a music supervisor?
Oh gosh, every day is a bit different because some days it's a lot of admin. Like, I think people don't realize as well, like it's a very admin heavy job as well, because you're having to clear licenses. So it's a lot of legal work, it's a lot of contracts, it's a lot of like drafting deal memos and sifting through cue sheets, and it's like it can be quite a lot of admin, which I enjoy as well. The creative side is only like half of the job, and that's like the researching music, finding the right track, working with the...
So do they give you like a brief, like we want this kind of sound, I suppose?
Usually, and it can come from different people. So sometimes it comes from the director, sometimes it's coming from the exec producers, sometimes it's like, okay, we know we want to include this artist in the show, so let's find a song that works. And sometimes it's like, okay, we've got a specific scene that requires something a bit more somber, a bit more emotional, like can we find find something to match that kind of like vibe of that scene. So the brief differs, which means the day differs, because you might be looking for something, you might just be spending the whole day looking for sad music, and it's and it can be quite like okay,
and then do you like submit a few, or how does it work?
Usually you'd submit a few, sometimes you could submit a playlist, but it depends, because you might not want to submit loads, because the person who needs the music, whether it's the editor or the producers, they might not have a lot of time, so they might just say, send me your best 3, and you've got 25, and you need to make sure it's really the best 3, because you don't really have a lot of time for back and forth sometimes, even though it can be quite a back and forth.
Bloody hell. So it's quite a serious one. It's interesting because I think sometimes people don't, like, there's another thing, it's kind of like lighting, right? People don't understand the importance of lighting, right? If there's no lighting, there's nothing. And I think it's the same with like music supervision. People don't realise how much adding music to film and TV or actually sometimes they try to manipulate you. Let me talk to you about that. Let me talk to you about that.
Not me,
because I've been watching this show.
I would never. Which show?
This great show is called Kin. So sick. And it's like Irish gangster film and film show. Anyways, they're basically in that show. There's like a relationship that shouldn't exist, and what they keep trying to do, right, is when those two people come together, they keep playing this like emotional, sad
Yeah.
music because they're trying to trick you.
Right.
They're trying to trick you to thinking this is a love story. You can't trick me.
Right. You cannot trick me.
But that's what I mean, like, because I'm aware,
Yeah.
because my eyes are steady.
Because you're a creative gal.
You know what I mean? Because I'm a creative gal, I'm thinking, I see what you're trying to do here. And it's not working for me.
Right.
But it works for other people.
Right.
And this is the thing with adding in the music, right? Like when there's like a drive, when people like doing a drive-by, they're adding the music.
Yeah.
It's getting tense.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I really think it's cool. Like, you're annoying. It's super cool.
You're so annoying.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Talking more about when you're doing like the licensing and stuff. So I've texted you this question before because I was watching something and it was really bugging me.
Yeah.
Was that I asked you like how much
that.
does it cost to like use someone's song
Yeah.
in something? Obviously it varies, but give us a little example.
I mean, it's hard for me to say.
Without names, of
Without
course,
names,
of course.
it's really hard for me to say. It's going to sound like a really annoying answer, but it does really vary because it depends on how much budget there is for that show.
Okay.
So it really does depend. You do have to pay different sides. So a song is split into two sides, the master and the publishing, and you do have to pay each side. So you have to pay whoever owns the master and whoever owns the publishing. But it could really vary. It could be like 7k or it could be £150.
And is it a one-off fee? Or is it like...
That also depends on the type of license.
Wow.
Yeah. But
This is so good.
but usually I would say it's like a one-off fee to use it for.
So a lot of artists, they're getting revenue from their music being used.
If they own the publishing or the master, yes.
Oh. Break that down. What does that really mean? Who owns what these days?
Well, that's a really interesting question, Kim, and something I ask myself daily. But say like if you're signed to a label, usually the label will own the master. So when you're getting paid or when we're paying for the master, that money is usually going to, if they're signed to a label, it's going to a label, unless in their contract it states that the artist actually owns however much % of the master, then it will go straight to the artist. And it really just depends on who owns what.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
You don't even know. I don't even think some people know stuff like that.
I don't think they know until
this time.
point. Yeah. To this point sometimes. But I feel like they're like artists are a lot more aware now of certain label deals.
Yeah, and to be fair,
yeah.
that's why we keep seeing people on the internet shouting and stuff, which I hear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why a lot of people are independent.
Yeah.
And if I was going to be a singer,
Yeah.
which is never too late, by the way,
Sure.
I'd be independent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then some people that assume are independent
Are not.
are actually
Yeah.
independent.
Is anyone really truly independent these days?
There are some.
What does it really mean to be independent though? It means you're not signed to a label. Does it mean anything else?
You're not signed to a label. That's really basically what it means. You're
Just
not signed to a
living
label.
your
You're
life.
just doing everything.
But you
yourself.
fund everything. Not yourself. Well, yeah, surely.
Yourself or through other revenues and resources.
Are there any other TV shows or films you've worked, Sean?
Yes, so obviously I've done Top Boy. I did a film called Ticket to Paradise as well, which had George Clooney and Julia Robertson.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said that yourself and I didn't have to coax it out of you because that's also quite serious as well.
That one was crazy. That one was a crazy experience. What else have I done? Because it was George Clooney and Julia Roberts in a film that I contributed
What kind of vibe was the film? I've not seen it.
So it's like rom-com vibes. Lovely. It's actually really a feel-good. If you love a rom-com,
Yeah, I do love a rom-com.
This one's for you.
So what kind of songs were you looking for that one?
So it was set in Bali.
Gorgeous.
So, lovely, innit? So I was doing a lot of research into like Balinese music. And, and
what did you learn?
I learned so much.
Oh, that's so
I learned
cute.
a lot. I did a lot of research into like traditional gamelan music, which is like traditional music from Bali, like a lot of percussive like drums and bells and it's really cool, but we didn't end up using any of that.
Okay, but guess what? You learned something.
I did learn a lot.
And that's what matters.
I did learn a lot. But yeah, it's set in Bali. It's like about this girl who falls in love with a guy from Bali like after she graduates, and she ends up marrying him, and then her parents have to come over and meet his family.
I don't ruin the whole film. Yeah,
that's it. That's where I'm going to stop.
Cool. It's like people want to watch
Spoiler. Not me spoiling it. And then so yeah, that was fun. And what else have I done? I worked on a show for Sky called Then You Run, which is a really good series.
What's it about? I'm looking for a new show.
Oh, I think you'd actually love it. It's about 4 girls. Oh, I don't want to give it away. 4 girls that end up getting into a madness.
Wait, does it have, who's in it?
You know the girl who
Vivian.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Have you seen
I've watched it?
Have you?
Yeah.
No, you
haven't.
haven't.
Wait, I know I watched it because I think you put in your story.
Yeah.
It's the one where like they go and then there's drugs.
Yeah.
I've seen it. That's you. Wait, I know this because you put in your story.
Yes.
Anyways, that's why I watched it.
Oh,
yeah, sick.
Is it, Kimberly?
That's such a good.
Yeah.
I will say that show was really irritating me. Yeah. Some of the behaviour.
I understand.
That was going on
I
because
understand.
obviously they're playing teenagers.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget
that they're just
teenagers
acting.
are missing sense.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why they're acting like fools.
Of course.
Anyway, sick. Oh,
Yeah.
that's another sick one. Sky. Yeah, I'm just writing down some of the accolades.
Yeah. I also did another one for Disney Plus, but it's not out yet.
Are you allowed to say what it's called?
I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
The information is out there, but
Off camera.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay. What can we have like a genre?
Drama.
My favourite.
Why are you
Wait, so
holding
when's
your
it
head?
coming out? When's it coming out?
I don't know.
Oh, I love it.
TBC,
I love it.
TBA.
What, Disney?
Disney Plus.
So you've done Netflix, Sky, Disney, and the big film was who?
It was Universal.
Wow. What haven't you done?
I know, innit?
What haven't you
I
done?
can't draw very well. Just,
Throw that in.
That's just something I can't do.
Oh, as in like a skill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that you shared that with me. Because I was wondering if you could draw. Literally, as you said that, I thought,
saw it in your
can
eye.
you draw?
That's what I said. That's why I said it.
So, you're actually ridiculous human being, by the way.
I know, but you know this.
Yeah, I love that. Would you say, what like the hurdles or challenges doing music supervision? Well, what do you find difficult, so to speak? Oh. Yeah.
I find it difficult as a young black female trying to navigate
on it.
that space. If I'm being
Speak more.
If I'm being really real, I don't often meet a lot of black people in music supervision in the UK, especially not young black females. There are a few like some sick ones, but there's not a lot, and especially in the film space, at least in the production space. Sorry, I do feel like it is quite dominated by white males.
Okay.
So it can be hard, like navigating that space.
Did you know it was going to be like that when you entered it?
No.
Oh, so it's a shock.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not like getting those types of shocks. And it's weird that those shocks happen to me all the time because what do I think is going to happen?
What do I assume?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's actually true. What do you
I
assume? Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I'm the fool.
Yeah.
Should
have known better. Yeah.
To be honest. But no, I didn't expect it. Especially because, I don't know, there's some of the shows that I've worked on, it's predominantly black culture and black music that
absolutely.
is, really spearheading these shows.
Yeah.
And when you look behind the scenes, it doesn't always reflect that. And sometimes that's difficult. It's just difficult. Sometimes the opportunities, I feel like, aren't as available as well. Yeah, it's just hard.
What do you think it is? Do you think that not many people know about music supervision, or like what do you think like the barrier is? Is it super hard to get into? Obviously you said, well, you were already in the music sphere already. Yeah. So yeah, what do you think the barrier actually is?
I think it's access, and I think it's knowing enough people and having those connections, because as I'm so learning, it really sometimes is about who you know.
I know, sucks.
Like you need to be able to do the job, but then once you figure out how to do the job, it's like, okay, you need to know who's hiring people to do that job. And it's like, if you're not in that space, how are you ever going to get into that space? And even though I worked in music already, it was hard transitioning. Like I already worked in music and I sent about 100 emails and no one got back to me. Do you know what I mean? Like 1 out of 100. That's not an exaggeration. Do you know what I mean?
But obviously that one was a great one.
It was a wonderful one. But it was one.
Gosh.
And it's that. And it's like, if I'm reaching out to these people, they're not getting back to me. Imagine someone who's just come out of uni and has a burning passion to do this and no one's getting back to her.
I know, which is obviously the case. I suppose a lot of creative jobs and industries, it obviously is white dominated spaces, and it is about how to navigate that. I suppose in many places and many spaces it's getting better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we're here. But I it's a difficult one because you don't want to discourage people from joining or starting these career paths because we need you.
Yeah, absolutely need you. It's not impossible. It's just hard. But nothing that's worth it is going to be easy at the same time. Like if you really want it, you're gonna have to put the graft in, and a lot of the graft is just getting the door open. But once it's open, cool, like barge through, run with it. But
are there, like, because you mentioned you did an internship, are there a lot of those going to flying about?
You know what, I think there's more than you would think because before that it was like a mentorship kind of that's what they called it.
Nice.
And before I did it, that didn't exist. So it was literally through me having that conversation with Abby.
Took your things. She changed the world. She paved the way. She paved the way for the future. Yeah, tell them.
But it's true, like it didn't exist before. I was the first like one. So I think it's not impossible, and I think there are more opportunities than you think. They might not exist, but you might actually be really influential in making that exist. Do you know what I mean? Like in starting something, or I don't know. I think there are more opportunities than we think. They're not going to be on LinkedIn, not all of them.
Okay, so don't go on LinkedIn.
Well, like I still think use it, but not every opportunity is going to come from there. Some opportunities are going to come from a random event that you went to and you ended up talking to someone at the end who ended up being the program runner coordinator who then knows someone who's looking for like it's not always going to be online. Like sometimes you actually have to seek it physically, like outside.
Because you spoke about going to a conference, right? And I think that's another thing people need to think about when they want to shift or go into a space like conferences and talks. I know it's really crappy to say, and I know people are tired of hearing it, but networking is everything. And to me, I really don't enjoy networking. I'll be honest.
Horrible.
I have to be honest.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
it's horrible.
I don't enjoy it.
It's horrible.
I really don't enjoy networking.
0 out of 10.
The value of it, you can't not do it because it's true. Like you'll meet one person here, and then this happens, and then this happens, and and it is all. And it also is all interconnected. And a lot of people know a lot of people, and all this stuff. And then Is there where would you like to go with your music supervision? What's like some of the goals? Not necessarily the top goal, but like what kind of things would you like to work on?
Oh, that's a good question, Kimberly.
Yeah, I ask good questions.
You do ask good questions.
I'd be thinking,
what's the goal? What's the goal? I don't know. I do know.
So why are you not saying it? If you know the answer to a question, you should say the answer to a question.
I do know. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself.
Okay.
Is the thing. I'm like, let's just see how
what happens.
But no, I would love to do like a big drama. Like I would really like to do like, I love working in TV. I think film's cool as well, but there's something about TV. I think because I feel like, because it's episode by episode, you can say a different thing, say a kind of different story in the music with each episode. Whereas a film, it's like, it's one cohesive thing, you know. So yeah, I think maybe like working on a big drama would be cool one day, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it. What do you think is like an important skill to have for music supervision? You've mentioned admin, so I'm guessing organisation is quite key one there.
Organisation is up there, because you're dealing with a lot of like, imagine that you're using 10 tracks, each track is split into two, like I said, the master and the publishing. The publishing could be 10 different people that own the publishing. Wow. That's just for one song. Let alone the master side, which might be 5 different people. That's just one song. So you really have to keep on track of a lot of stuff. So I say organisation is key. I say a broad music knowledge. I think some people think that because you have like a good taste of music, then that's all you need. It's like when I did the Ticket to Paradise thing, I had to research music from Bali, which I've never listened to in my life, but you have to have like a good ear, I would say, to know what works, what emotion are you getting out of this track. Like you have to maybe have to be quite emotional. No, now that you're saying that, in touch with your emotions. Yeah, 100%. Because you have to be like, you kind of have to take yourself out of the out of the main character. You have to not be the main character and be like, okay. For once, let me just put
How hard's
myself
that?
to so hard. Let me just put myself to the side. Like, if someone else was watching this, would this track make them feel happy? Not me, but
someone else,
the general viewer.
It's funny because I think a lot of people, you know, when you ask people what kind of music you like, and they say, I like everything. I don't believe them. Do you know what I always say? I say, pass me your Spotify. That's what, every time, because everybody says that. There isn't anyone. Every time you say to someone, oh, what's your music type, and they say, I like everything.
Yeah.
So pass me your phone.
Yeah, there's
and
definitely something you
or
don't
I say,
like.
what's your? Let me see your Spotify Wrapped.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
and
so
it's just
really see what's going. Summer Walker. Yeah, Summer Walker was on mine this year. Okay, I don't say I because I don't like absolutely everything,
right.
And that's the honest truth.
Right.
I listen to a few different things, but I also listen to very similar sounds. I listen to things that comfort me, which is like R&B, soul, news. Like those sounds to me make me feel comfortable. You know, I don't bang a rock. Do you know what I mean?
Hey,
but
are you sure? Yeah, I was gonna say, are you sure?
Which is soft punk, I believe.
Oh, sorry. Is it?
People come for you. Yeah, people come for you.
Genres are.
People come for you with the genre situation. Who made genres?
Gets on my nerves.
Who made genres?
Really gets on my nerves.
Who is the decider of what genre the song is?
So Paramore is soft punk.
It's something like, basically, I've said to someone before, like, oh yeah, Paramore's punk, and they're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And definitely don't say it's rock because it's not rock. But I think it's like punk pop. Yeah, but I don't know if it's because it's quite mainstream that people say that, because so many people who don't even listen to those sounds like it. Paramore.
Yeah.
You have my childhood.
Hey, Williams.
You have my life. I owe a lot to you. Anyway, sidetrack. The moral of the story is people say
they like everything.
Old types of it, and they don't.
I used to say that.
See?
I used to be one of those.
Not Balinese music.
I know, innit? I used to be like, I like everything. But I don't.
But no, it's not. Don't. I mean, you can definitely appreciate all different types of music, but I think people like to stay with what they know, you know?
But I think it's the genre thing as well. Like, I don't think people know what is what sometimes.
I'll be honest.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I mix like all like types of rap together. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
All of them. the Meek Mills, you know, the Drakes, the drill.
Right.
I don't even know the difference.
It's all one.
I don't even know what American drill is.
Okay.
If I'm being honest with you, I don't know what that contour, like what song is that?
Right.
Who is an American drill artist?
Yeah, like Chief Keef.
Oh, Bobby Schmurder. No. Okay. Right. And this is what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't know who's singing the songs. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I don't know the genres. Yeah.
No, did you really thought you were popping off?
No, I really thought, because the way you said Chief Keef, I thought, ooh, Bobby Schmurder. Is that not? No. No. Okay. I'm gonna stick to US strip.
Sure.
Fast. Cool. That's what that means, right? Fast.
Yeah.
Central C.
Cool.
Is that drill?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is.
No, it is.
Is it?
He does drill.
Who else is drill? AJ Tracy.
Lex.
Do you know what? Let's cut that bit
Any
out.
more questions?
Right, let's look at the questions. Anyways, so wow. So the people who are inspiring to be multifaceted music professional. Yeah. What tips would you give them? Know what drill is? Start with that.
Maybe know what drill is. No, you don't have to know what drill is. What tips would I give them?
Yeah, little cheeky tips.
Oh.
What are you teaching the people?
Oh God, I don't
know. They need to learn.
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, you've given away some key gems in this.
Have I?
Even I've written down things in my mind.
Oh, that's good.
In my mind.
That's good.
Need to translate them to paper in the future. But what would you give younger you? Like, what would you have told yourself? Go back to Baby Keats.
Baby Keats. Bless her, man. It's okay, man. I would say have thick skin.
Oh. Okay.
Have thick skin. Because when you're getting airs or just straight up
no's,
it can be quite disheartening, but don't watch that.
You'll be fine.
Don't watch that.
Just keep pushing.
Someone
keep
will say
pushing through. Somebody will say yes.
Will say yes.
Amongst the 30,000 no's, there'll be 2 yeses.
Yeah.
And that's what matters, isn't it?
It is. And also, like, what else would I say to Baby Keats? I wish I started a bit earlier.
Oh.
I do wish
really?
I wish I started a bit earlier, because I feel like uni's great and everything. It is. And I wouldn't change it for the world. But for what I'm doing now, I would have loved to have started like when I was like 17, 18.
So would you have not done uni, do you think? Because everything is a part of a journey, right?
For sure. I wouldn't change it.
It's hard to look back and say, oh, I wouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Because if you hadn't have done whatever you have done, would you be where you are now?
If I hadn't have done film, I wouldn't have even known what a music supervisor was.
Thank you, because you wouldn't have gone to the conference.
Wouldn't have gone to the conference.
And then you wouldn't be here. Yeah. Obviously, we can hold out on the Spanish, I think, maybe.
Yeah, but sometimes that adds a little
something.
zhuzh,
Is that on your CV?
It is.
Bilingual.
Big and bad. Up there. Front page. What do you mean? That took 4 years of my life.
Yes.
Lived in Madrid, like.
Did you?
Yeah, for a year, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've really been around.
Yeah, I'm multifaceted in so many ways.
I've been saying you've been multifaceted. I've been saying it all day. So let the people know as well, you've got a new little series kicking off on your socials, haven't you? What's it called?
I do. It's called Kiki the Music Supervisor. And it's basically a collection of videos. I'm calling it a series, but it's a collection of videos where I talk about music supervisor shenanigans. And I thought, because sometimes it's a bit hard to talk about the work that I do because NDAs. And like I can't talk about a show if it's not out yet, and I don't want to compromise the thing or get sued. So it's kind of hard to talk about it, and I didn't really know once the show's out, like once Top Boy was out and everyone watched it, like okay, it's done now. So what can I say? So it's just like a collection of videos where I talk about, break down the role and like what I do and. All of that.
So if you enjoyed this episode, basically go and find you. Where can the people then find you, please?
You can find me on Instagram, which is @curatedbykeke.
Curated with a C.
With a C, and Kiki spelled Keke. Or on TikTok. I can't remember what my TikTok name
That's really concerning. I'm just going to say this to you now. That's concerning. You don't know your TikTok handle?
I don't know my TikTok handle.
How do you expect people to find you?
I don't know. In fact, my little... someone got onto me the other day, because you know when TikTok gives you the picture,
because you had that little alien for ages. You saw the alien emoji DP. Okay, well after this we're going to work on your TikTok, because I don't know what's going on. Okay, we don't know what her TikTok handle is, but what you'll do is go on my TikTok and I'll repost her, and it'll probably be an alien emoji, so you'll know it's her.
I just thought it was cute.
It is cute, but be real.
No, but I just thought like, oh, this is actually this is quite me. Like,
go away. You've heard it here first. You can find her at Curated by Kiki on Instagram. The TikTok is up for debate, apparently. We're going to work on it. I'm going to give you some tips.
Please, because you're the TikTok princess. Are we going to talk about you in any of this?
No.
Okay.
But do you know what? I've always said one day I'll do an episode of Out of Office with Kim where people interview me, and I already said it would be you.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. I've been saying it's been in my mood board for a while.
Kim loves me.
Okay, well, let's close this down.
Please. Kim really loves it. Tell them what was in your calendar.
Basically, Keana found out today that her birthday's in my calendar. Yeah, it is. I don't really know how it got there, but it's there, and that is what matters.
It sounds like a recurring event, annual in your iCal. Anyway,
thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to today's episode. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Out of Office with Kim. I've been your host, Kim. You can find us on socials at OOOW Kim.
Yeah.
Some say ook, some say ook, something else. Ook. You can find us on Instagram. Like, subscribe, laugh, ping, ching, ting, ding, da-da-ling, da-ding, da-ding, ding. Thank you.